It's Madden NFL 24, and we've got the Chargers' creative quarterback. We'll see him sling it all over the yard in this one. It's the Chargers and the Steamers, and it's kicking off next on Madden NFL 24.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the Alamo City of San Antonio, Texas. Today we hit double digits week 10, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Steamers of Rio de Janeiro taking on the Chargers of San Antonio. Hi, everybody. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Charger club entering play here. They're halfway home, looking good at a perfect 8-0. A bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. Looking to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. A handoff as they run the counter play. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. 2 yards the loss, second and 12. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down. Back to throw. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
So here's the Charger offense making their way out. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
It was fun getting ready for this game, wasn't it? Because normally we talk to the coaches and the players. I think you and I asked to talk to the trainer to see how his arm is going to be.
A lot of ice after last week.
After last week's game, boy, what a performance that was. And you know who else is having fun? Receivers. Because they get a chance to do what they do best, which is go out and catch the ball.
Yeah, and that last week effort, he threw for well over 400 yards. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
At the 28-yard line.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. A yard all they need, but it's third down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now a handoff as they run left side. Down inside the 40.
Holding, offense.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Quickly completed to the right flat. It'll be a pickup at 15 as that'll lead to third down. That was a lightning-fast decision that time. He just caught it and got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately. So he took the R, the run, out of the play. He took the O, the option, out of the play, and immediately got to the pass.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
And his kick is good. And the Chargers grab themselves a 3-0 lead. So pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. And you figure this should be a healthy, arrested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top 4.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The Chargers get set to go here for their second drive. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. The ball under 32. It's 2nd and 2. Now, you and I, partner, we got the plum assignment this week. An unbeaten team against a one-loss team. Really not much separating these two entering play here today.
Not much at all. I think for both coaches, they've looked at their team and said, guys, you got to know what you're getting into in this one, and you better be ready to go because you get to answer the big question of the day. Are we as good as we think we are? We're about to find out.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. And the defense coming through on third down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. And his kick is good. And that will make it 6-0. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Well, the Rio offense about to set up shop once again. And this game, Charles, much talked about coming in. And you think there's a real chance this is a Super Bowl preview?
I do, because as things stand, and I'll give you a little bit of a caveat here, that maybe things will shake out a little bit if someone loses along the way. But here we are right now. These are your 2 current number 1 seeds, and I think they're both good enough to make it to the big game.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. But you talk about the defense for these Chargers. This unit, very tough to throw against, currently second best in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5. And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. Taking it right down Broadway. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the Chargers are going to get the football back at their own 17.
For a team who came in here on a healthy winning streak, we're seeing some uncharacteristically bad play thus far. And that streak is definitely in jeopardy if this offense keeps giving the ball away and can't mount a few drives of their own.
Back out comes San Antonio. And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year, but you think this game, their toughest test yet.
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its division with an eye on making a Super Bowl run, so this game is crucial.
And he is out of bounds right around the 34. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. They'll look to throw here. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's second down.
Second and 7 at the 37-yard line.
He'll look to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A first down there on a pickup at 25.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So on the other side of the field now, it's first and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll bring up second down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down. 6-0 our score after one. Second quarter now, San Antonio in possession as they've got it with a first and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. Second down. Now a second and 6.
It's now second and 6.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Now a handoff running through the middle. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
That run wasn't a big breaker, but I don't think the guys on offense mind very much. They've got a nice drive going, and they might just be luring the defense in a little bit. They could probably come back with a play action, maybe go over the top. But right now, on this drive, their playbook is open.
It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
And still yet to find the end zone. But they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Rio offense about to set up shop once again. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
1st down, Steamers.
Now they try the right side here to about the 40-yard line.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 33. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Hands it off out of the gun. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. And it appears we have a Charger shaken up on that last play. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And that's a touchdown, but hold on. There is a flag down on the field. We'll have to see what this is about.
Holding offense.
Down in this one, they needed that score, but they'll have to hold at least for the time being.
You're exactly right. Points that they had to have. As you said, they have to regroup now and see if they can get them another way.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And a solid run down inside the 30. 57 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. They'll look to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 17-yard line. The 3rd down conversion is successful. Give them 12 yards that time. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great play there. His 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Steamers are back within a score. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite. But the blocks were made up front. Offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is down to 2. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Now they'll try and set up the quarterback draw here. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
Now, how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
They'll set up to run the quarterback draw. He'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite powering through the tackle. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
They'll set up to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And a good job of just fighting through one tackle there to pick up about 3. Second down coming up from the 41. Here's second down and 7. They'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. The offense on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And it was a stiff arm there that freed him enough to get the first before he's tackled. Third down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Now 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 26-yard line.
They're going to look to throw. And this one's incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will push the lead up to 12-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space. and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him in.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now fair catch is called for and taken at we'll call it the 37-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. On the move past the 40. And finally marked down at the 23. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at first and goal.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick here is good. And that now makes this a 15-7 game. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. So here are the Chargers to take over. They've gone 2 months without a loss, 8 straight wins for them. And they've got the lead here in this one as well, trying to make it 9 in a row. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, got it to 39. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5. They'll set up a throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Give him 30 yards there.
They came out with an aggressive mindset to start the third quarter, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them take more of these type of deep shots as this game moves along. They connected there. They expect to connect on more before this one's over.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So 3 plays already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. Here's a give up the middle. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal.
No gain on the play. Leads to second and goal. At the 6.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down for a nice little gain.
88 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
They'll try to run this one in. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. 6 yards in the wrong direction that time. Not only that, but it brings up 4th.
It's interesting where we are in the game now. The analytics folks, they might tell you to kick the field goal and make it a 2-score game. But you have to wonder if emotionally they're thinking, let's go for the touchdown and try and slam the door.
And this one is right through. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 44-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And that's one of the better plays we've seen this offense put together so far. They haven't been able to get on track much at all. But listen, they're only down a couple of scores with the rest of this quarter and the entire fourth remaining. So, stranger things have happened.
Here's a quick throw out left. That's caught. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be second down.
Second and 6 at the Chargers' 40-yard line.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. Now back to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Well, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 15 yards on that play.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker.
Touchdown! A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season.
And the Steamers have got it back to within a score. So a strong drive here to lead off this third quarter and gets them right back in this football game.
And I think we can safely call that a statement drive because they had to be saying, we didn't put our best foot forward in the first half, but we certainly mean business now. Maybe a better term, a prove-it drive. They proved it to themselves that they were ready to go.
Now a toss going left. And he's not going to get in as a try for 2 comes up empty. So they will be unable to cut this to a field goal as the differential remains 5. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25.
Back out comes San Antonio.
Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Now here's a throw that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Completion here as they fail to connect on third.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
He notched his 15th touchdown pass of the year on that last drive, and they'll look to keep it going here, 1st and 10.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
106 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. A handoff as they run the counter play. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
3rd and 12.
He'll look to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 37. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the first down.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. He'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And that will bring up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the Chargers' 32-yard line.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Looking to throw.
And this pass broken up. Well, the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Oh, nice defensive effort there, providing the hit as the ball got to the receiver, separates him from the catch, and normally he's a sure-handed target.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that will cut the lead down to just 2. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Well, certainly going to be a lot tougher adding a touchdown to that lead now since they're facing 2nd and 20+. Big-time sack to start the drive and put the opponent way back. Let's see what kind of play call they come up with here.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Takes this one up past the 20 after he's able to make a man miss. It's a pickup of 8 yards to move him into a 3rd and 13 here.
Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Can't get away, and he's taken down. It'll be a sack and a loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up 4th down.
It's 4th down.
Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in San Antonio. It's been a good one so far, just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And taken right at the 35. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Well, the Rio offense about to set up shop once again. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. Escapes the defender. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45.
117 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Back to throw. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
And his kick is indeed good, and they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
So out come the Chargers.
And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Second and 7.
Back to throw here. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Well, certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot, forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. The 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
So points so crucial in a tight game like this, but this kick off the goalpost, and that'll keep the score right where it is.
Yeah, it wouldn't have made this a 2-score game, but any cushion this late definitely would have helped. Now they need to ask their defense for another stop, and that's going to require some work.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it's 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted.
And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Agreed, that's twice now in this 4th quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
Now the Rio offense set to take over. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. On play action, they'll throw. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Looked like some hands both ways. They got it on the offense.
And sometimes there's a fine line between being the receiver and the DB, and he knocked that one away. Might have caused an incompletion that could have been an interception.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
6-yard pickup brings up 2nd down at the 32-yard line.
He'll look to throw. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th. as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at the 33. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 7 yards there and a first down.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he's able to push his way forward somehow for a gain of about 2 yards. Second down now.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd and 8. From the gun, they'll try to run it.
Oh, no, he lost the football.
And it looks like one of the DBs has it.
And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they can't bring him down. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Five points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down.
Now a timeout called for by the defense, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there with his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Steamers are able to build on to their fourth quarter lead.
Well, let the natural light of today reflect that he is now getting into the end zone 2 times.
Look at you. You little Ralph Waldo Emerson, is that his name?
No, I was just going with the meteorologist. Said it was a day game. I'm here.
Important extra point up and through, and that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
So the Chargers now down by 8, just over a minute 40 to play. Their long win streak in great peril as they come up 1st and 10.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
He's back to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He'll look to throw. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late-game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Back to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete.
And he's going to get out of bounds with the first down. So an ideal set of circumstances there. They move the chains, and they save that final timeout. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw, as this play will stand as is.
They'll look to throw. Oh, what a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch.
Final minute, one timeout remaining. 1st and 10.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You have to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th.
Here's 1st and goal.
Back to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And now defensively in the 2-minute drill, the big key to me, make sure you understand your assignments, and anytime you get a chance to tackle someone in bounds, get them on the ground.
So they hit pay dirt, but don't count it yet. There's laundry on the field. We'll see what the penalty flag is about.
Illegal touching. Offense.
Late game, that hurts. Take the touchdown off the board.
No doubt about it, and this is where you make a great movie scene, right? Go in, rally the team. Okay, we lost points there. Let's get it back and go out and score again. Can he get it done?
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football.
And they just have to make it stand up one more time, because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They try to throw on 4th and goal from the 2, and the ball will go over on the goal line stand. Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
Following the penalty, they'll go back to the run game.
And he is going to have a first down here, and that should be the one that seals a victory. But Charles, we were treated to an excellent game today, capped off by that second half comeback. This was a joy to watch.
Entertaining for us, not so much to the team who led at halftime and now is leaving here, knowing that they let a win slip through their fingers. Tough one for them to carry home.
So for Rio,
they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they will head back home next week.